Good evening, Asha ma'am. Welcome you all to another session of Chintana. Today we have with us our beloved Asha ma'am with yet another interesting topic. Good evening, Asha ma'am. The session is all yours.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Asha.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. So, today's topic is not only unique but special to me, that is multitude. So, according to you, what would be the definition of multitude? Yeah? Yes, Purab? Unmute.
Many. I don't know.
Okay. Yes, can Nilima try?
Maybe multi-directional,
Okay.
multi-dimensional.
Okay. Premi, I think you can also try. Ekta can try. So many are there. Please.
I guess, ma'am, when we our attitude, when we have a very open, if it is with the attitude, then a multi approach to the attitude that we have. Is it in that direction?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, let me define what is multitude. Multiple attitude, which is highly functional, is multitude. So, attitude will tell you the altitude you reach. So, that's a old saying, but never it matters. Like, even after 200 years, definitely the attitude matters. So let us define what is attitude actually. We use this word now and then, look at her attitude, so much of attitude, So at a psychological level, what does attitude mean? Is there any formula? Yes, attitude is equal to behavior plus belief system. It's your behavior and what you believe. What you believe, you conceive. What you conceive, you achieve. Right? So it is your behavior which blends with your belief system and that becomes your attitude. So what is multitude? Multitude is highly functional concept that you may not show the similar attitude with a 60-year-old, with a 5-year-old, with a 20-year-old. You need to be functional and you need to communicate with them. There are a lot of skills that you require to develop that intra and interpersonal skills. The basic thing is multitude. We should acquire it. We should develop this skill. We are not born with this skill. It is not innate. It is not inborn also. So, does Vedanta explain about this? All the Diggajas of Mahabharat failed because they were unable to understand that multitude makes them more functional. Be it Bhishmacharya, be it Dronacharya, Karna, because they developed a kind of attitude which where they just stayed on it very rigidly, very, very stubborn. So that is what is important in today's life. If you are a mother-in-law, if you are a mother, if you are a wife, and you play so many roles, right? And your attitude towards each one, you need to be highly, highly conscious. So in Vedanta, especially Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, speaks about this multitude in a very beautiful way and explains us about the vrittis. Vritti is a functional dimension of our body and mind where we connect with each other. Body and mind connects at a certain point, and if we are conscious at that particular point, we will be highly, highly functional. When you are speaking to a 5-year-old, okay, how do you speak? And when you're speaking to a 6-year-old, or when you're speaking to a teenager, an young adult, when you're speaking to yourself, so what kind of attitude do you carry is what is important. I think somebody has unmuted and it's
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Shipra, yeah, thank you.
So there are two vrittis that we need to keep in mind. Vritti is the way we think, how we manipulate our mind. When we say manipulation, lot of times we don't know what we are speaking. We are not conscious about our actions. So there is lot of emotional.
I request all of you to mute. Smriti. Thank you. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah. See, this affects our mindset. Morning, I would have had a fight with my husband, and there is a client who is going to come to me. The client, I'll be listening, that's all. I will be traveling in my own journey. So, this kind of mental fluctuations, we call it as vrittis. Okay. And these vrittis are of two kinds. One is the Brahmakara vritti, the other one is Vishayakara vritti. So, what does that mean? Two scenarios with the same person. There is this mother who is going to come to your home and you are going to prepare nice food for your mother. How do you prepare? And there is somebody who really you hate, but inevitably this person is coming to your home. And how do you prepare food for this person? How do you put all your five senses into the things that you are doing? How these emotions are literally breaking your consciousness into pieces. This is very important for us to understand, especially in today's scenario. Why are we not able to understand our young adults? Because of lack of skill, lack of multiple attitude. Yeah, we don't know, and we don't know to connect with the people whom we call it as elderly, and we don't know to connect to the people whom we call as young adults or today's generation. We are literally hanging. So that is why multitude is important. So when we talk about this Vishayakara vritti, it is external modification with respect to internal emotions. So if I am not feeling good, I don't even clean my home. If I am not feeling good, I don't even cook well. If I am not feeling good. So every external organization or external action is dependent on my internal thought process. And vice versa. Internal thought process, if it is not working great, then the external things get distorted. It is so much, interconnected. So multitude is developing an attitude like, when there is a 3-year-old, when it look at a beautiful flower blooming or something, there are no words. It will only express. Okay, over the period of time, this child will learn all the expressive words. This is sun, this is butterfly, this is flower. The more the child learns, the wonder will get reduced in their life. The more wonder it get reduced, the life will become very fade, pale, and we lose our child within. Multitude is something where, we remove the ignorance, but still keep that wonder. So ignorance is removed. I know this is butterfly, but still I appreciate it. Lot of times we see things around, but we don't know to appreciate. Small, small things we don't appreciate. Small, small things that doesn't bring happiness to me. Small, small things doesn't elevate my mood. I want big things to happen. So in the same way, in the process of keeping the giant food, in the urgency of keeping this giant food, I will forget little happiness can also bring peace to my life. Multitude is developing an attitude where I recognize these are all the ignorances, but still retain that wonder in my life. So this is about multitude. So when we are playing different roles, we need different attitude or approach in operating different systems. Marriage is a system. Your motherhood is a system. Okay, so there are multiple systems around me, and not one attitude can operate all systems. I will get into real mess. If you are having two daughters, you cannot operate two daughters with the same attitude. Each one of them are different. So that is a skill that we need to learn. Krishna could speak multiple language. When I say multiple language, he knew how to speak to Drona, he knew how to speak to Bhishma, he knew how to educate Arjuna, he knew how to really control the aggression of Draupadi, he knew intellectually how he can connect to Yudhishthira. So in the similar way, you are one person dealing with so many people around. And what works for A will not work for B. What works for B will not work for C. We need multiple approaches in life. And to develop that, we need to understand that these aspects, which are connected mostly to the spiritual world, is important. So, did I set the context for multiple attitude? Yes? Yes or no? Of course, it's a very new and a very tough nut to break, but that is the need of the hour. I'll tell you why multiple attitude is important today in the today's world. After pandemic, people don't have time. And the language of empathy has changed. And the tone, the voice, the texture of communication has changed. And the emotional involvement has taken a different definition in life. So we need to develop this skill to be in peace, not for others, but for me. You cannot, as I told you, you cannot talk to people in the same way. And if there are 30 students in your class, you need to really be creative to understand. It's not like I had 30 students and these two creative things will work for all the 30. No, all the 30 has gone through traumas in their life in this the 3 to 5 years of pandemic has really caused mess in each one's mind. And to operate and to be in sync with such minds and to reach out to them in empathy, it's very important for me to have different approaches towards life. It's like you have 6 kinds of fruits in the basket and you cannot peel every fruit with a similar technique. You need to apply more pressure. Sometimes you need to really take the knife and peel. Sometimes it is so easy like orange, you peel it off with your fingers. This we call it as different approaches, and even the nature has different approach. Okay, so this is, and also there is two way in this journey. One is Bahirmukha and the other one is Antarmukha. Bahirmukha is always Rajasic by nature, that I want others to change for me. Antarmukha is always internal and it is Sattvic. I will have to change. And I have to change not for others, but to be in peace. There are two kinds of energy that gets released. One is the lunar energy, the other one is solar energy. When you release solar energy, heated environment will be produced. That you will be yelling at people, you will be showing them what is the right place, and you will be proving your point, you will be crying, you will be throwing things out. This is a too aggressive way of handling it. And lunar is staying calm, minding your own words, understanding and sinking in the essence of words that you use, the choice that you make, the tone that you use. It's just like a calm night. You're going to handle it. So if you ask me what is important in life, what is that energy that I need to develop? Both are important, but you need to have an attitude to know which energy to be used at what level, in which place, with whom. Sometimes lunar energy is not enough. If the person is literally abusing you, If you are calm, quiet, not voicing out, accepting what is going on doesn't work. You need to really stand for yourself through that courage, fuse, shield, everything you have to do. Yeah. And times that you are fighting with your own loved ones, you are yelling and you are aggressive, that doesn't work. End of the day, you need to blend with this person, you need to talk to this person, and there is no way out. These are all the allotted relationship that you have, as Krishna Dutt rightly says. Allotted relation, you need to deal with it. It is God gifted. You can't change. Can change your brother, you can change your son, you cannot change your grandson or granddaughter. No, they are all allotted relationship. It is nothing was in your hand. There was no choice for you, right? For that, you need to develop an approach where you stay calm and you deal with it, because the next day you need to see this person. So far, so good. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this boring?
Ma'am,
No,
I
ma'am.
see that
wonderful it is.
energy today.
Ma'am, it's very, very, very interesting. We're just listening to you, but waiting for your story also, ma'am.
Yes, I will come. I will come.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
there is where is this multiple attitude is being expressed in our Prana or Vedanta? There is a beautiful story of Shanmuga. So this Devendra will go to Shanmuga and he will tell, no, you are the son of the Lord Shiva Mahadeva itself. What is the death for you to fight Tarakasura? He was so much jealous of him. He knew that he is going to kill Tarakasura and he will definitely be a competitor of his throne. So he want to just pick him and throw it off, because he very well knew that 90% of the battle is already fought. Remaining 10% will be fought easily, so that he has to remove Shanmuga out of the game. So Devendra will tell whether you fight or not, whether you sleep, stand, sing, whatever you want. He's the son of Mahadeva. So naturally there is, a kind of nepotism. So you'll definitely get a good place. Definitely you will become somebody great. So why do you have to get into the battlefield? So Shanmuga is one person. That is why, this Shanmuga is the Lord of confusions. Like, he will just wipe off everybody's ignorance. He has that capacity because of his multiple attitude. The way he dealt with Parvati, the way he dealt with Indra, the way he dealt with Narada, the way he dealt with Shiva, it's all different. He did not use the same acceleration, same momentum, and same thought process with everybody. So he developed such a strong attitude that wherever he has to give them nicely, he gave. Wherever he has to be polite, he was polite. And wherever he has to shield himself, he shielded himself. Wherever he has to insulate, he insulated himself. So that is why when there is lot of confusions, when career is not taking a huge turn, when we are financially stuck with something, or people talk about Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Sanchaniya karmas, we go to Shanmuga is only because it's the symbolic representation of multitude. So nothing could shake this person. That is why we call him as the Senadipati. The Deva Sena is the wife, and he is the Senadipati. That whatever a leader, whoever the leader is, multitude is very much important. Leader doesn't mean that at your professional end, leader also means the leader for your own life. If you have to lead your life with peace and harmony, then multitude is important. Multitude is not being smart. Lot of times it gets confused. Oh, in Telugu there is a saying which my mom used to tell always, Andruku manchi vaadu anantaya. So I have to be nice with everybody. So whatever they sing, I will just blend it into the tune of their song and say their words and be nice to them. And I will not have anything that I have to tell, and smartly I work behind the screen. That is not multitude. Multitude is calm, with a peace environment within. You are putting a point in a way that this is a beautiful skill, beautiful art. Using words is beautiful art. That you are not disturbing another person. You are not disturbing yourself, and you are not disturbing the environment also. Environment not even knowing that you are fighting this battle. When you yell, when you start using words, when you call names, and when you just go on a journey of correcting somebody, that is not something that is functional in today's age. People are very smart. They know and they are so prepared. Before 10 years, it was not the case that no one were prepared for anything. Now, after WhatsApp, people are prepared. They have their own personal groups. You're thinking that this person is a close friend and you're talking everything. All snapshots are going to the right person there. And politics is not limited to only the political area. Politics have started inside the family also. And trust has lost its value. Nobody will believe your words today. Lot of times I used to see and I used to hear the stories from my parents that just one word people used to believe and give lakhs of rupees or thousands of rupees. Now they don't even believe your one word. They ask you for a video recording, audio recording, or a snapshot. So multiple attitude will create a safe place within. You need not have to look for another shoulder and be really victimized. You become the leader. You become the one who can carry with harmony and grace in your life. To bring that grace in your life, multitude is very much important. And after pandemic, what is that one thing that happened which has shaken the whole thing? One is the hyperarousal and the hypoarousal. Arousal doesn't mean the physical arousal, it's the emotional arousal that I'm speaking about. Hyper and hypo. After a series of grief doesn't mean that I have to go through. Seeing that grief is also enough. The way the news channels, beautified, decorated the information, and statistically on a hyper side or a micro level or a macro level, all the deaths that happened and the fear that was created, the loneliness that was dealt, has put us either to the hyper arousal, that is fight and flight situations, or freeze situations, that is hypo arousal. So what happens at this time? So we have, knowingly or unknowingly, have completely come out of our comfort zone. Probably we are not aware of this. Two things are getting created. That is, when you are in a hyper arousal, anxiety, overwhelming, lot of worries about the future. And there is an urge to shed my emotions. People nowadays feel that if I don't share my emotions, then I'm gone. So there is an urge within. I have to catch hold of somebody and start emoting. Otherwise, I feel that I'm not promised tomorrow. I have to tell. There is so much of urgent confusions. And number three is chaotic responses. This rush of thoughts in my head. Okay, one thing is producing 6, 7 thoughts. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I listen to that person? Should I listen to myself? What happened? What happened? So there is rush of thoughts, chaotic responses inside the mind. The moment I utter, I don't even know what I'm doing. So the communication is totally under the carpet, where I have no hold on it, under the hyperarousal system. And the fourth point is anger and fear together. I have fear for losing people. At the same time, I just want to get rid of these people. I want them, but I don't want them. That is the situation, right? So this is the hyperarousal system. So what happens at the time? Here, though I am between hundreds of people around, I feel so lonely. Number one. Number two, I feel nobody is there to understand. Number three, I feel people misguide me. Number four, trust issues. Number five, I feel everybody is targeting me. Number six, I try to find oasis in the desert. This is something put us to the serious stress issues that I want to be a good person, where maintaining that good image with respect to all the relationship is causing so much of stress on my head. This is called as compassion stress. Okay, so after losing people, I feel that, okay, these are all very few people left with, so I need to take care of them. It's okay if they scold, if okay, whatever they do, I need to have them in my life. So I will start taking the stress of being good to them. That is with hyper emotional arousals. What happens with hypo emotional arousals? I don't even care what is happening to me, what is up. So I'm keeping myself so busy. That is affecting the physical body at large. And we have to realize that 30 plus, the statistics, especially in India with today's youth. Okay, so from 24 to 36 in this, so much of urgency or so much of worries or anxiety towards wellness also. Fitness freaks, losing their life just like that. And so much of stress towards eating, so much of stress in doing every small things, being organized, that is also stress. One day if you flip, that is a stress. Keeping home clean is a stress. And with that stress, lot of anxiety issues, post-trauma issues, that is creating so much of lethargy in me. I started losing that excitement to live. There is no excitement in living. Whenever you see, I see young couple here, the way they walk, and I keep observing them. He is walking with one mobile and she is just talking to somebody on her Bluetooth. Both of them are walking, not even looking at each other. And I see in my apartments that, the kind of talks that go on, it is only general talk. There is no intimacy. And I'm getting the cases these days with respect to intimacy that my husband is not opening his mouth and appreciating me. He's not looking at me. There is no romantic involvement. Life is going dry. Either it is coming from husband or wife, and life, especially the coupleships, are getting ruined. This is only because of hypo-emotional arousal. So the reason is very clear and very standard reason in front of us. That is, there are the 5 important aspects that we call it as the checklist or the observe. You can take it as a trajectory to be observed on daily basis. One is the pramana. Okay, don't believe or don't construct your belief system unless until you have an evidence which you are seeing with your eyes. The family dynamics, the marriage dynamics is getting ruined because of WhatsApp and social media. Because whatever we see, whatever the speaker is speaking, whatever the person is exchanging, we think everything is true. There is no difference between fake and fact. You experience, now is the time we are walking backwards now. We are going to flip the history pages. It's important today for us to experience and understand and learn, not by hearing or getting the statistics from internet, which you don't even know it is a fact or a fake news. So Pratyaksha, adopt Pratyaksha in your family life. Develop your attitude which is Pratyaksha oriented, which is evident oriented. You see changes in yourself and then tell people. I see people telling me, guiding me, Arey, I saw this, every day you have to drink this ajwain water and you become this. Somebody is telling you have to eat jeera. Somebody is telling this is okay to eat rice. Somebody is so you have multiple thought process going on in your head. So you are special. You are one of your kind, and nothing works, and nothing is uniform in this cosmos. Not even a star look alike. If there are millions of stars, each star is different, and you are one among them. So you are different. What works for you will not work for somebody else. What had worked for somebody else will not work for you. So this pramana is very much important in our life, that especially with respect to the pratyaksha. And agama is the testimony. Don't believe anything as long as you don't have a testimony. Relationships are happening just like that. Oh, you like blue color, even I like blue color. Okay, I think we can establish our life and we can think together, we can see our future. All cinematic things will happen after 2 years. There is no intellectual connection only, and they come back and regret, and they go just go want to go for a separation. So this is not multiple attitude. You need to stand for yourself. You should know what connects you, what turns you on, what keeps you in the system. That's very important. And number two is what is there in your memory. Lot of times our memory kill our happiness. There's even today, there is an experience of mine. There's a beautiful birthday party going on. And that person A was so happy being involved in the birthday. Suddenly, a person B walks in and the entire excitement will go. She will just put on her slipper and walks out. So what is there in my memory? Hatredness towards a person in my memory will take away my happiness. So revamp your memory. Delete all that which is not actually productive in your life, which is not going to keep you in peace. Bring grace. Take an eraser and erase everything. Forgive everybody. We are not promised tomorrow. But don't forget, learn a lesson out of it, which is very important. That is Smriti. So adopt that in your life. What is there in the moment I take the name of Nilima, only good things has to come. The person who has created her, the person who has created me, the person created you are all same. What I want is what I see in the person. That's all. If I'm seeing the negative aspects in the person, I only see that. So let us not manifest it. So forgiving is for us, it's not for others. So it's a very important aspect of multitude. If you have to develop multiple attitude or approach towards different dimension of life. And number three is how you sleep. Before you sleep, after you sleep, how you feel, how your body feels, how your emotions feel. Have you ever pampered yourself, asked, oh darling, you're sleeping now, have a good sleep? Have you wished yourself? Try doing this, because end of the day, you need that pampering, you need that understanding, and don't wait. The world is going to put you to sleep. Nobody has time. You need to sleep. And number three is vikalpa. Imagination. Don't imagine your future. Be in the present. So assumptions will ruin our life. Imagination is for us to imagine nice things, create wonderful things, imagine the nature and be associated with the nature and take part in everything, maybe the celebration or something. It is completely creativity, how you enhance your spiritual growth. It has nothing to do with assumptions. Now, imagination is being misinvested. We assume things and make our life worst. So let us not assume. That's what I told. Pratyaksha is very important. And viparyaya, looking at the rope and thinking it is a snake. Exaggeration. Nothing would have happened. After 2 days, everything will fall into place. But I want to have the reason. I want to find the answer. No. Urgency is me. So what I do, it is just a rope, but I tell people it might be snake, it might be snake. And 100 people will come with a stick and thinking it is a snake. So the simple life is made complicated with viparyaya. So pramana, smriti, viparyaya, nidra and vikalpa are the panchavrittis which will ruin our multiple attitude. So it is very, very important for us to maintain our voice, watch our words, make the choice of good words, how to speak to a 5-year-old, how to speak to an young adult, how to speak to the age-old person is important and it's a responsibility. If a person is on the deathbed and you are raising your voice, what's the use? It is mudhatva. The person can't react, the person is helpless, but you are yelling at that person. So that shows that where is your Panchamrattis. So multiple attitude is the first step for manifestation and spirituality. Spirituality is not reading the mantras, chanting the shlokas. Spirituality is definitely not being silent. Spirituality is standing for yourself, standing for the right with the Panchavrittis in place. This is multiple attitude. Welcome to the club. Yes, Nilima. I
Yes.
don't know, I took a lot of time.
No, ma'am, absolutely. We were all lost, and I'm sure everyone is. So it's a completely a new dimension that you have brought, and it's something to be thought-provoking, I guess. Yeah, and I think Namrata has a question. Namrata?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, it's such a pleasure to hear you every time. आप जो examples देते हैं and everything that you speak is very, it's from the past, but it's very relatable to now. That's very good. Actually, I had a question that a lot of times, you feel that, you are trying to, like, people around you are trying to control you. Like, husband wants a certain thing for you to do. Kids want you to do certain thing. In-laws want you to do certain things. And sometimes, you get caught in what other people are expecting of you rather than you really thinking about what you want or what you're thinking. Like, you get defocused from from your own perspective or your thought process, and sometimes you're so muddled up because of course these people are important in your life, and then you lose track of what you're thinking and what you want and where you're going in life. That's my question. Like, how to stay, and with all that coming in between to what you want to do and what you, so sometimes I feel that I'm being controlled or manipulated or I don't know, maybe it's something that is my weakness, that I'm not able to put me above everything else and or I don't know, sometimes yeah, it's difficult. And like what they keep saying may not be true, but then you get enrolled ki, oh, I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm able to put across what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Let me paraphrase and see if I have understood the question properly. There are a lot of people whom you love who stay with you, and they have their own opinions to make. They have their own thought process to put across. Sometimes you are weak in the area where you need to accept, though you have your own thoughts, you may have to put that in the back bench. And sometimes you have to put them in the priorities, and you have to walk a tide. That the question, that how to deal with such situation?
Yes, and in the process, you want to make everyone happy, but at the end, you lose everything because you're not yourself when you're doing all the time for other people. It's like a good girl syndrome, you want to be nice to
Yes,
everyone, which is
exactly.
not possible.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of lose yourself. You end up being nowhere.
Correct. See, when we divide our life into hours, we are left with 2,500 days for ourselves if we are living for 80 years. Okay, if you are living for 80 years, you are left with 2,500 days for yourself. That is the statistics. You sleep, you work for others, you work as a professional, you make up, you put on your clothes, bathing, everything putting aside, you are left with only 2,500 days. And how do you want to spend that? Everybody has a choice to make. And happiness is not somebody's responsibility, it is my responsibility. And there is three ways of looking at happiness. Okay. Happiness never come under compromisation. I'm compromising my happiness because I like this person to be happy. No, that is not the order of life. Everybody has rights to be happy. You get confused only if you wouldn't have defined your happiness. A lot of times I see people and I don't really go by the excuses that people make. I don't have time for myself. Each one of us have time for ourselves, and that time should be spent entirely for yourself. And when it comes to things that we are doing or decisions that we are making, there are three things that we can, three aspects that we need to consider. If vrittis are not established, it's very clear that mental fluctuation, vrittis are mental fluctuations. If mental fluctuations are not established, I mean, it is not clear. Like if I have got into a relationship, there is my mother-in-law, there is my husband, there is my children, and each one of them are putting their points out. Okay, there is a mental fluctuations that happen. I was deciding blue, but these people are telling green. There is no problem in having those contrast things in mind, but not conflicts. This will conflict happens if I don't take myself seriously. If I am putting other people into that pedestal, then I am in the confusion that is this right? Am I doing it right? I'll be asking lot of questions. This rise to pancha kleshas. Pancha kleshas will put us to dukkha, sukha, and moha, the triangular encapsulation. So it is very important that we need to take hold of the, as a leader, I lead my life. If I am leading my life, there are the three classifications that I'm going to tell where I solely make the decision. Where I make the decision in a group, that is collective consciousness. And I let the decision to made by others. First thing, provided I get 3 minutes or three things or three opportunities in my life, solely I make decision. Make use of it. Be joyful there. When you have to do it with people, bring your collective consciousness. It's not win-win situation. Put your ego aside. Try to tell people if they don't listen, just if this thing has to be done this way, you can't help. If you fight also, people will do. So who is losing harmony? After fight for 1 week, the person is going to do this. So why lose that 1 week? 1 week of harmony from your life. And there are times that you have to leave this decision making for others. So it's very important if you get an opportunity solely to make decision, enjoy, take the privilege. If you have to do it with others, bring your collective consciousness. And if somebody is doing for you or for others, just watch, don't comment. This is the ideal way of leading life if you are in a dynamics where you may have to deal with ABCD. There is no fourth way available. This is the most harmonious way of dealing with it. So by doing this, what happens? All the vikshepas will go out of your life. There are, number one is vyadi, disease will go out of your life if you are following it. What happens? No, I want this decision. I have to make this decision. You are stressing your mind. You are taking all the stress, then the blood pressure, then the left ventricle and that this disease will go out of this. If you classify this in your life, bring collective consciousness, bring your consciousness in your place. The second thing is Ranya, that is mental illness will go out of life. There will be no mental illness because you are not getting agitated and you are not getting jealous and you are not getting into the expectation syndrome. Nobody is shaking you because when I get an opportunity to solely make decision, I'll enjoy. If it is a collective decision, let me watch how people do, how they put their skills. They ask, I talk. Otherwise, anyway, they'll do what they want. People will do what they want. You are going to lose your
Ma'am,
peace in the juggle. And the third thing is pramada. Pramada is cliches in life. You will not become a laughing stock. Okay, lot of times the conflicts happen because somebody will do what I say and they'll come back and tell you, because of this, I am in this state. I listen to you, that is why my life is like this. You'll become cliche, will go out of your life. And the fourth one, no laziness. Laziness is proportional to disappointments in life. No disappointments, no dysfunctions. Yeah. And then lack of compromisation. Compromisation. That will go out of your life. You need not have to compromise. Little things will bring happiness to you. And there is nothing called as perfect life. And false perception, bhranti, we call it as bhranti. Bhranti will go out of your life. And you will be so real, very clear, like a water. So water is used and water is also being offered puja. We call her Ganga and the same Ganga is used. So Ganga has no option in her life. Right? If we have to attain that purity, if we have to really live for ourselves, we need to become that. Ganga can wash away all the dirt of life. Ganga can even wash away lives. She has that power. And the last thing is inability. You will become capable, competent. And when you become that, people literally scared to talk to you. And my life journey is an example for that. So you have to attain all this with grace and patience and perseverance. You need to wait and your time is going to come. What happens? The urgency will take away the most important ingredient of your life, patience. When you lose patience in your life, definitely the acceleration of good things coming to you will get less manifested. Classify your role, be brave, be strong, be smart.
Ma'am, how can you decide if a decision has to be made by you, or this is a collective consciousness decision, or it has to be a decision made by others? How can you decide that?
Yeah.
Because
Yes, by letting everybody speak and you speak and understand that what is that. See, it is a beautiful. I would like to tell you the story where a family came to me for counseling and each one had different direction. And this boy wanted to go to another place out of Bangalore to study, and mother, father, grandfather, and the sister were not in acceptance. Okay. So I gave them a small, artwork to do. Your boat is in a storm. Okay. All the family members draw this topic, boat in a storm. And all of them started. First of all, grandfather did not participate. And the younger sister started doing the boat and he started doing a big tide. And the mother was doing and the father also went away. This is how life decision happens, yeah. If you let them take the responsibility, two people will go out. For talking, everybody will be there. Okay? But when time comes to take responsibilities, it was left with only both of them, sister and brother. Even mother walked away. That is family. So you need to bring them together. Collective consciousness is all about that. It's not about talking, it's about doing. It's about time, it's about everything. So family, usually grandfather used to have that switch. Yeah, he used to call them, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. So that was a different collective consciousness. Now collective consciousness is giving them response. You make the decision. Array, do it. You will do very well. I know. Ah, no, 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 I don't want to do this. People can't talk very well. They can't accept things, take everything on their head. No. Namrata, this is the right way to do once you adopt and see. Yeah. Okay, Nilima, one more question.
Okay, ma'am. Which one do I choose? There are 4 questions here.
Okay.
Yeah, so how to inculcate these concepts into younger generation, especially teens and young adults?
Okay. So if you are talking about vikshepas, kleshas and other things, it will go here. Okay. So 3 things are very much important. There is no age to learn. There is no age to redo things. Undo you can't do. Okay, I can understand. And there is always redo things. Sit with them and ask how they feel about themselves when they see themselves with you. When they were 5 years, when they were 10 years, when they were 12 years or 20 years. We don't talk such things with them. How do they want you to care? What is the limitation? Caring is always self-defined. That is the worst thing. I have to care Nilima the way she wants. I can't show my care the way Nilima cannot understand. Nilima is the, female of words. She likes words, but every day I send her chocolates. I care Nilima, I love Nilima. No, she's not understanding my language at all. One day I write a beautiful greeting, she's jumping out of joy. Like that, in your family, what is the language of care and affection and love? You need to understand. And there are not only 5 love languages, there are 5 languages also. More than love language, we need to understand 5 language. When I am literally angry, I close my door. I don't want to speak to anybody. 2 days of satyagraha I do. That is my 5 language. Do you know my 5 language? You know, this is the time and we need to understand our young adults' 5 language, not love language. For them, love is, see, love has evolved. You know, in Satya Yoga, so the love between Shiva and Parvati is proving each other their competency, capability, and the strength of being together and holding on each other's responsibility, not questioning, thorough, trust. That is why they are Jagataha Pitara. Okay, so we call them Jagat Mata Pita is only because they were so much strong in their momentum. So when it came to Treta Yuga, so they fought for each other and they stood for each other. They did not comment or complain. If Ramayana would have happened now, there were things would have been different. Okay, how love has evolved. Ram could wage a war for Sita and Sita could wait for Ram. That was love. Long distance relationship, there is no better example for me to. So love was in imagination. Here, love was here. Okay, Dwapara Yuga. And the husbands has to wage war to prove their love for her. So love became weapons. And Kali Yuga, love is nowhere. Okay, you need to gather that together. Okay, living together itself is a love. And there is no movies that can happen. Forget about that. There is no man on the earth. And something, the misleading things happen in the childhood only. Hey, eat, I will bring this to you. If you eat, the Chandamama will come to you. That is where we'll mislead children to look for things that doesn't exist. And for the same child, in the young adulthood, somebody is telling, I'll bring the stars for you. The child will think, yes, this is so true. Because mother has told me already, if I eat, the Chandamama will revolve. And there is a guy who is telling, oh, you're so beautiful. I want to bring that. She is just believing it. So let us stop misleading children. Let us not tell them false stories. Let us tell them true stories. And true stories of mine as a mother, as a father, how strong we stood for our life. Not showing my vulnerability, but showing my, standard way of living. Let us demonstrate. They don't need to look for heroes outside. If dad and mom can stand taller than problems and prove them. The way you talk, the way you behave, the way you culture yourself in front of your children. If you are, when your child is 6 year and 7 year, you're scolding your mother-in-law. Ayo, she is one big story. Do you think your son is going to respect you? If you are telling your daughter, Arey, chodo ya, give that ajji something, okay, your daughter will never take care of her in-laws. What do you demonstrate? Young adults need presentation and demonstration. I have a 2.5-year-old kid at home, my brother's grandchild. And the way we demonstrate, he just picks that up. And the way we tell him, the way the story is narrated to him, the story of Ram, the story of Krishna, the story of everything is narrated to him. He becomes that. That's how we need to raise our young adults. We need to show them it's time for us to show them the real stories, not plucking the stars, bringing Chandamama and all this. Right? Don't you think it makes sense? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And I think we are never enough listening
I
to
know.
you.
Okay.
Although time is the constraint. So thank you so much. It was awesome. And thank you so much for bringing this topic. And I'm sure everyone enjoyed it.
Yes.
And thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asha ma'am.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.